Are you trying to find a bit for your horse but confused by all of the choices that are out there? Are you thinking that a bitless bridle might be the better solution for you? I want to talk about that today, the different types of bits and bridles, how you can decide what is best for your horse. You don't want to miss it, so let's get right into it. So this is Pippa's bridle. This is her, the whole bridle here with the reins. Pull the reins down. The reins are attached to the snaffle bit. This is her snaffle, and this is an egg butt snaffle. It does have this one joint here, but it's thick. They're thick here. It's pretty basic snaffle, pretty mild bit, snaffle bit. So this is another snaffle bit one. Actually, this is the first one I got for her, and as you can see, it has a piece here, copper in the middle, but these cheek pieces are really big, and for her little face, and just starting out, really, I just decided this was not a good fit for her. But it is a good snaffle bridle, and fairly basic, so fairly gentle bit, snaffle bit.
This chart shows you the many types of snaffle bits that are available that you can purchase. A whole variety, single jointed, double jointed. There's the twisted wire ones, which are much more harsh than the egg butt that I use on Pippa, but this is a great depiction of all of the snaffle bits.
So Pippa is in her snaffle bridle here, bit in her mouth, the snaffle bit, and as you can see, it's resting in her mouth, it's resting on top of her tongue, and this area in the mouth is back, all the way back at the corners of her mouth is her bars, and the bars are is the space in the horse's mouth, the natural space where there are no teeth. There are teeth in the front and molars in the back, and a horse's mouth is really big. You know, when you're giving them big carrots, you think, how can they fit them? But they can fit them. So as far as tightening this, you do have adjustments on the bridle. The tighter you pull it, you're going to get more wrinkles here. I don't have it very tight. There's like one wrinkle, so that's how I like it. Of course, when I pull back, it applies pressure, and when I release, that's her reward.
It's not very tight, and I don't have it adjusted really high. I have just basically like one wrinkle here. Of course, whenever I pull back on the reins or whatever whatever cue I'm giving her, it applies pressure, and as soon as I release my fingers on the reins, it rewards her. So that's pressure and release is the reward. And
the thing that makes a snaffle bit is that it is a direct pressure bit. If I apply 1 pound of pressure to the bit, 1 pound of pressure is transmitted to the horse. There's no leverage. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I recommend that if you're putting a bit in your horse's mouth for the first time, that you get your equine dentist out to check the bit that you've chosen, or to look at your horse's mouth and give you some measurements and give you some ideas too of what might be a good bit depending on your horse's mouth and the configuration of their mouth. Every horse's tongue is thick or thinner, their mouths are fleshier or not. Definitely use the trainers and the professionals that you're working with to help you. I'm going to take this off and try to show you another type of bridle that you may be thinking about with your horse. When I take this off, I want to be careful. I don't want to smash her teeth or hit her teeth, so I do it really slowly. and let her drop it. This is not fitting her properly, but this is a side pull hackamore. Hackamores, when there is nothing but the rings and the reins attached to the rings here on the bridle, the face apparatus, there is no piece that goes in the mouth, but there is still pressure applied when you pull the reins. The pressure is going to be applied here across the nose of the horse and a little bit possibly under the chin, depending on the fit of the bridle, the fit of the Hackamore bridle, and how you have every piece of it adjusted. Hackamore bridles and Snaffle bits have a lot in common. They are both direct pressure bridles, at least this type of Hackamore, this side pull Hackamore. It when you pull back on a side pull Hackamore, there's no mechanical pieces that are increasing the leverage. It's still one-to-one leverage on the horse. You know, 1 pound of pressure in the hand, 1 pound of pressure across the nose of the horse. And again, depending on how they're adjusted, there might be some pull pressure up here behind the ears, and that's how a Hackamore works. Instead of pressure in the mouth, there's pressure around the nose, under the chin, and up here at the poll.
This is a good picture of a little S Hackamore. This type of Hackamore has some leverage. That little S mechanical piece is a little bit of a shank, and it does increase the 1-to-1 ratio. So the bridle has a little bit more communicative power than a straight Snaffle bridle would. And my friend Sue Basham rides her competitive mare KC in the Tevis Cup 100 miles, and she rides all of her endurance rides using this type of bridle, which allows the horse the freedom to eat and drink along the way of the ride and not have that metal bit or any synthetic bit inside the mouth.
So I wanted to show you a different type of bridle here. So there's, I don't know if you can see this, but there are 2 bits on this bridle and 2 sets of reins. And it is called a double bridle, which is exactly, makes sense, right? So here you see the 2 reins attached to 2 different bits. This will give you an idea too of how big a horse's mouth is, but they actually sit in the same place in the mouth. When you put this bridle on, so you see one of your bits is a Snaffle bit. It has the Snaffle bit. It also has a curb bit. This is actually a good look at it. It's pretty thick. It's got tongue relief here. That's why it's raised up. So this provides a good bit of tongue relief, which makes it rest on the bars and not apply too much pressure to the tongue. It does have a shank here, as you can see. So this is a leveraged bit. This applies more than direct pressure, more than a 1-to-1 ratio. And these types of bridles, the double bridle, is used in upper level dressage amongst other places, but that's one place that you do see riders riding in a double bridle. They're doing very, very intricate movements at upper levels, and they need the additional bit to cue specific things. So, and for the horse to respond quickly, and you know, due to the character of the dressage sport, this is what is used by a lot of riders, and it's a much stronger bitting system. And I actually had not this specific double bridle, but my trainer has another double bridle that I did ride Pippa in a few times just for her to get the feel of it, and for me to get the feel of her. I wasn't even putting any pressure on the reins when we first put the bridle on her, and just walking around the arena. Her head was up, she was so light. She was not about to pull on those bits. So when horses are resisting the bit, actually the double will make them not resist the bit, because that weight, just the immediate weight of the two bits in the mouth is a signal to the horse, you know, like I got to get this up off of this weight. And that's without any rein pressure. So when you're riding with a double and actually communicating with the horse with both sets of reins, it's pretty difficult for a rider. It's quite advanced to be giving riding mostly off of the snaffle and putting your pressure here, and then sometimes going to the curb and putting your pressure on this one, and you're just doing it with between your ring and your little finger and the other fingers of your hand. So it takes a lot of practice, a lot of work for both the rider and the horse. But I wanted to show you what a double bridle looks like, and show you that leveraged bit. So anytime you have a shank on a bit, it's no longer a snaffle. It is applying more than 1-to-1 ratio of pressure, and generally the longer the shank it pieces, the stronger and stronger that bit is.
Please leave any questions or comments about bits, bridles, what you're looking for below in the description. I'm happy to answer all questions, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.